let's go without the review this time. Okay, basically just what happened really quick. We had two drawings of two people that we were looking for. We were looking for Suzuki and Makoto, those two guys, and we found a construction worker that told us that Makoto is actually Suzuki. I don't know, we're trying to solve that. We found some information of where they live, and that's what we're following right now. So we're here, we're in this place where the guy lives, and we're trying to look for him. We are trying to find him. Maybe there are some clues in these woods. I guess I'm just gonna have to examine everything. This looks suspicious. There are any snakes around, right? Maybe there's nothing. Footprints, there you go. It looks like there are some tracks in the mud. I should pay close attention. They must have been made by someone passing through. I'm glad they're here. I can use them to navigate. It doesn't look like a hiking trail. I don't see any signs or landmarks at all. Maybe the trail was blazed by someone who lives out here, and now Minoru Suzuki is using it. So, can I follow that? Yeah, okay. Oh my goodness, I'm very, very nervous. I am so freaking nervous. That was a pretty intense hill. Okay, where should I go next? Oh my god, they're gonna have me looking, just like walking around until it gets dark, huh? Didn't expect this day to end with me lost on a mountain. I have to observe my surroundings carefully so I don't get lost. I would be lost already. I get lost so easily. Some of the greenery is a bit trampled. Sure seems like someone has been walking here. So can I follow that? Let's go. Should keep going. Work in the trail. This is gonna be a problem. Oh my god, which one should we follow? Let's see. Trying to see if I can see something. Road on the left. Does it matter? Is it gonna have a different ending if I take the right one or the left one? It's the way down. There's some tracks, but they're spare. Okay, so we're gonna go this way, apparently. Way up, I see a good amount of tracks. Okay. Oh, we're gonna go left. A stream. Maybe I took the wrong path. Water is really moving. It's not super deep, so I bet I could cross, but can we do it? Wait, I saw something. I just saw something. What's that? Oh, it looks like a marker. So if I go in the direction of this landmark, I might find a road. Why put that there though? Do people pass through here on a regular basis? We're gonna have to cross the river. I can use the rocks to cross without getting wet. Just need to be careful. Another fork in the road. Oh my. Why do they make me do this? There's a handwritten sign blocking the path. It reads no entry. It's written hiragana. I wonder if that's to make it easier for kids to read. There's something. I just saw something. You probably cannot see it because of my camera. Why does my camera look so dark today? This is my light. Oh shoot, not this one. Well, there's something there. There's a broken sign in the bushes. Like, maybe someone hit it. No passing beyond this point. Looks like a sign put up by an official of some sort. Where are we gonna go? Where are we going to go? If we go this path, that's it. It's because both of them, it's the same. Not passing or like... Let's go right this time. The left side looks dangerous, and there's that no entry warning. Let's go to the right. I don't know if it makes a difference. This is... Oh, never mind. There's a cliff at the end of the road that doesn't look climbable. Best to turn back. Okay. So left. But I'm gonna ignore that and go left anyway. Well, there's a house. So what now? So first of all, I guess you cannot see it either. There's this Chiso, I don't know how to say it, statue. It looks like it's barely been taken care of. But there are random flowers in the offering. The flowers are fresh. Someone must have been here recently. And it looks like there are some tracks behind the statue. And of course we have this place. It looks pretty old, but it might be worth investigating. Is this a cave? It's a cave. I think I could get in there if I bend down. I can see much deeper from here. Why? Well, let's go behind the thingy because there's tracks there, so I guess. Oh my god. Oh my god. I'm finally out of the woods. What the hell is this place? I guess I'm just gonna have to examine. Just a bunch of abandoned houses. And I cannot travel back, so... Right? No, I cannot travel back, so I guess we're in the right path. There's another abandoned house. There's another abandoned house. If I so much as touch it, it falls apart. Feels spooky, maybe haunted, like something might jump out at me. Let's freaking go to that one. That is the one. Let's see if thinking works. I guess not. There's no one around. No one is nearby. What if I... Hold on, maybe... There's nobody around, it's like time stopped. There's some old, dilapidated houses. The workers dropped off someone who they were calling Suzuki a ways back. I wonder if he lived here. Could Minoru Suzuki be here? And I guess, or more importantly, if someone were here, would it really be Minoru? Two separate people ID'd Makoto's sketch as Suzuki. I should look inside these buildings even though they look abandoned. Perfect, we're going in. We are going in. haunted houses. Let's go. Well, it's of course it was her. I knew it. I knew it when I saw the what she's wearing. Where are you going? What are you doing here? I saw the sleeve and it's Kuse. Detective, why are you here? Why are you... Answer my question. I think Minoru Tsuzuki might be lurking around here, so I'm looking for him. Is that why you're here too? Oof. Okay, let's... I guess ask. So if you're here, that means Minoru Tsuzuki must really be lurking somewhere around here, huh? I can't tell you anything about the police investigation. You have no right to expect me to. This woman. You're a civilian. I have no obligation to tell you anything. Maybe examine her face. It's usually calm and collected, not now though. Why is she so tense? Does she really think Minoru Tsuzuki, very possibly the smiling man, is in the village right now? Sure. Ah! What am I supposed to do? Let's try to make her talk. Detective Kuse is right. It's a job for the police, but you were hired to do this too. It's just there don't seem to be any police here other than Detective Kuse herself. Exactly. She's alone. Detective Kuse, did you come here by yourself? You aren't thinking of going in alone, are you? Don't worry. I called Kami for backup. I'll be fine. I wouldn't do anything reckless. That's why you need to go now. But go. Why? I don't want to. No, don't even think about it. Go back. You read my mind. You'll do what I say or you'll be under arrest. Go back the way you came. I forgot. Detective Kuse. Like I told you before. Don't get in my way, understand? Now go. I want to. Don't make me say it again. I'm not part of the police force. I shouldn't be trying to work alongside Detective Kuse like this. I'll only get in her way if I stay here. What did I think I was even doing? I'm worried about her, but I can't stop her from doing what she wants to do. I suppose my investigation ends here. No! Your work here is done. My investigation ends here. Well, this is definitely not the... Oh, that was the one! Detective Kuse, you're right. My investigation ends here. It's just, please be careful. Did I get like a bad ending or something? I'll get going then. Okay. So how to choose quit investigation. Oh my goodness. I'm a civilian. I guess I did everything I could. Well, maybe I can linger until backup arrives, or I could call Kamihara, even though she said she already did. What was that? Detective Kuse. I knew it. She went to find Minoru Tsuzuki alone. Where is she? Did she go into one of those abandoned houses? But which one? I have no idea. I'll go door to door and look around. Another gunshot. That was a lot closer than before. Was it over there? It sounds like it came from this way. Okay. Who did she kill? Who is... What happened? Detective Kuse. Are you okay? What the hell is... Who is he? This is Minoru Suzuki. The same man responsible for the murders 18 years ago and the man who killed Eisuke Sakaki. Suzuki approached me. I told him to stop. He did not. I fired a shot, but my hands were... I missed. Suzuki took my pistol from me and threw it away. Then he began to strangle me. I escaped his grasp. I hit Suzuki on the head with a machete. Is that how you say it? Machete. Split him open. I think she's in shock. She seems disorientated. Oh my god. Am I gonna... Okay, let me think before I start examining anything. I need to calm down and try to get a handle on the situation. So that's Minoru Suzuki. It's too dark to see very well, but his face looks badly injured. Did Detective Kuse do that too? What the... You're probably... I don't know if you can see it on the... The face looks so weird. I had to get close to it. What is going on? No. Something's very weird here. Something's obviously wrong. I mean... With Kuse. Detective Kuse doesn't look like her usual self. Well, I'm gonna have to examine. Okay, nothing changes. Okay. Are you sure that's Minoru Suzuki? Yes. It's really him, and I killed him. She seems confident that the man on the floor is Minoru. And his sketch must be what led her here, but... How can she be so sure? She's only seen a rough police sketch of what he might look like now. So again, is that really Minoru? Got things to figure out. Detective Kuse entered the abandoned house alone and was attacked by Minoru Suzuki, who was inside. She opened fire in self-defense. The sound of that shot led me here. But about that gunshot... Yeah, wait a second. I heard 2 shots. Did Detective Kuse miss both times? Yeah, she only explained one, right? She says he got a hold of the gun and then tried to strangle her. Or she was able to grab a machete and strike him in the head with it. So where's the machete? Oh my god. See any machete here? Where could it be? But there's a cell phone laying by my feet. Oh, it's my phone. Must have dropped it when I ran here. We should let Detective Kamihara know what's happening. I'll call him. Out of range. Oh! No signal in the mountains. Wait, if I'm out of range, didn't she say... We're gonna die! Oh my god! We are gonna die! Why didn't you just go? I knew it! Why did you even come here? Detective Kuse. I'm sorry, you're going to have to die. Wait, Detective Kuse. It was 18 years ago. Huh? I ran out of the house, and I was sitting by the side of the road, crying. A car pulled up right in front of me. The door opened, and someone stepped out. I looked up at them, and there was a man standing there. He was wearing a paper bag with a smiling face drawn on it. I was too scared to move. I couldn't speak. The man crouched down and looked me in the eye. And he said, Emiko. I screamed, and I screamed. I just kept screaming. The man didn't move. I could see his eyes from inside the bag. They looked sad. Then he grabbed me by the neck. That's when my brother came running off the road. He was yelling, trying to save me. He attacked the man, but it wasn't enough. The men started strangling him, keeping him pinned to the ground. I thought, he's going to kill my brother. I was watching my big brother die. I tried to help. I grabbed the man, but he just brushed me off like it was nothing. It's when I managed to pull off the paper bag. He turned and looked right at me. And it was Minoru Tsuzuki, but his face was... It looked just like the face on the bag. I was so scared I couldn't breathe. By the time I got a hold of myself, Suzuki's car was gone. But I couldn't forget the sight of him tossing my unconscious brother in the trunk. He was taking Makoto away. I can still remember it so clearly. When I got home, my grandparents kept asking me what happened to my brother. I don't know why I told them I didn't know anything. Well, that's what I did. It was all so horrible. The attack, the look on his face, the feeling of being strangled. None of it was as bad as my brother being gone because of me. And if my grandparents knew what really happened, my big brother, the purple flowers he gave me, if only I hadn't said those horrible things. He was taken instead of me. I wish it had been me. I still feel that way. The police came to my house and they asked me so many questions about my brother. All I could say was, I don't know anything. Everyone in the village came together to try to find my brother, but I knew it was useless. He wouldn't ever be found. Oh my god. The next day, a young man came in. He'd been there that night, and he identified himself as a detective. When I refused to speak, do you know what he said to me? He said, "Miss, I'll find your brother. Are you sure you don't know anything at all about his disappearance?" I couldn't answer, because I knew that detective, Shunsuke Utsuji, I knew he could see through me, through my lies, and the other truth he knew was that my brother would never come home alive. That man, did you really kill him? Yes, I did. Minoru Suzuki destroyed our lives. He deserved to die. I knew you'd come, Emiko. You're not Emiko? Then who are you? I killed Suzuki. This gun has his fingerprints on it. If it looks like Suzuki shot you, I can finally leave life with my brother. I'm sorry, but... Your brother? My brother, it's me, Junko, Makoto, brother. You're my brother, Makoto. I knew it. You're still alive. Alive? What are you talking about? Brother, don't you know who I am? Don't you? Who am I? Who the hell are you? Wait, look at this. Remember? I should have thanked you. Brother, you got to get out of here now. Wait for me at Kufuku Station. Hurry. Get out of here, hurry. But... go now. Well, that was the first one. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Detective Kusei, what should I do? My brother has lived like this for almost 20 years without knowing anything about his life until today. Don't want to make him suffer anymore. I want to set him free right now. I'm so sorry. I can't. I still can't do it. I'm sorry, Makoto. I'm sorry. Oh my god, I'm gonna cry. Detective Kusei. Oh my god. Stop making Junko cry. Oh my god, no. Stop, Makoto. Wait, what happened? How's Makoto doing? Okay, so he's alive? He seems to be recovering well. It looks like there's no permanent damage. Oh my god. I'm so glad Detective Kamihara is a terrible shot. I know he was shooting to kill, but... God. Kamihara opened fire on Makoto upon arrival. He said Detective Kuse had been acting strange lately. That she'd been working solo much more than before. She decided to perform a one-woman raid on Minoru Tsuzuki's hideout without telling anyone else. But Detective Kamihara knew about the motorcycle and the school tie. So he paid attention to her movements whenever possible. Kamihara knew Detective Kuse was headed to the abandoned village alone. But he said he was delayed after being called into the police station. Kamihara MVP, he saved us. He's been engaging in unauthorized and irregular behavior too. All to protect Junko. As for Minoru Tsuzuki, at the time I was assured Detective Kuse was the one who killed him. God. Oh my god. Sir, I'm gonna start crying. Hide somewhere, Makoto. Just hide now. What about Eisuke? It looks like Eisuke Sakaki committed suicide after all. Detective Kuse was headed back to the station when she saw a kid on a bicycle ride onto a side street. She was suspicious but decided to keep going. But her suspicions got the best of her and she turned her motorcycle around to follow the bike. She parked and walked down the pumping station and that's where she found Eisuke Sakaki hanging by his neck in a sitting position. He hooked up his tie to the bars of the pumping station. He wasn't breathing, so Detective Kuse tried to resuscitate him. It didn't work. Eisuke was dead. She went to take her cell phone out of her bag. Detective Kuse remembered something she was carrying. the paper bag she'd found while cleaning her grandmother's house before it was turned down. It gave her an idea, and she acted upon it. Detective Kusa took the tie, put the paper bag over Eisuke's head, and left the scene. And then she called the police. Next morning, posing as a first witness, she made an anonymous call to the police. Detective Kusa's disguised Eisuke, so he would be linked to the case from 18 years ago. She believed her participation in the investigation could lead to locate her brother Makoto. She was hoping the case would draw a lot of coverage and serve as a kind of beacon for Makoto, who she believed was still alive. And it worked. Eisuke's case was noticed by Minoru Tsuzuki and Makoto. The smiling man showed up just like Detective Kusa hoped. She says she regrets what she did. She keeps saying, "What have I done?" Didn't Detective Kusa also take Eisuke's suicide note? I think she was keeping it along with the tie. It was the envelope. It was the freaking envelope. It was the envelope I saw in the box in her apartment. Eisuke's suicide note was addressed to Megumi. Hold on, I need a minute. Oh my god. I had a lot of fun with you. Thank you. I'm sorry. Bye. I need a moment. Mr. Fukuyama told Megumi and Kohei what the letter said. Oh my god. I can't. I'm sorry. Kohei was Eisuke's best friend. He understood Eisuke better than anyone. When he heard what Eisuke wrote, he said, "Sounds like him." After saying that, he broke down in tears. I can't. Megumi cried too. She cried until she had no tears left. But she said that the note gave her strength. She listened and accepted what it said as bravely as any adult would. Seems she will forge ahead. It is difficult for adults to remember what it's like to be kids. But I understood how fragile, I can't read, the world felt to them. And I will do whatever I can to protect them. God. Mr. Fukuyama seemed to have felt this too. He will be a great teacher. I know it. I'm back. Mr. Tsuji, welcome back. I've heard about your exploits from Kamada. You're both extraordinary detectives now. How did your investigation go? We're dying to hear your stories. Hold on. I just got back. I'm starving. So, Ayumi, care to join for lunch? Of course. Oh my god. Wait a minute. Why are you only taking Ayumi? Let's go, Ayumi. Why can't I come? Oh, Detective Kamihara, can you believe this? Everyone is so mean. I got left behind. Are you on the phone with someone? It's Detective Kamihara. Watch your step. Focused on where you're walking or you'll get hurt. God. Sometime later, I received a letter from Detective Kuse. To everyone at the Utsuji Detective Agency. I sincerely apologize for any inconvenience I may have brought to your lives. My actions are unforgivable. I'm ashamed of my selfishness. I'm gonna cry. I can't stop myself. And I intend to atone for my sins. I have resigned my position with the police to focus on supporting my brother as we move forward. Makoto's memory has returned, but it will be some time before he can walk again. He wants to be able to live on his own someday, so he spent his days doing hard physical rehabilitation. To stand by and support my brother is my atonement. I will keep living with that thought in my heart. Our family of 3 wishes you all the best in your endeavors. Oh my god. Junko Kamihara! Oh my god! Oh my god, I cannot! Oh Jesus. She finally looks happy. She is happy. She got married. They married, they did. Oh my god. Oh my god. This is so emotional, it is. Oh my god. I love the game. Just like I love the other two, but this one, I don't know, this one's just special. We're still missing the epilogue. Oh my god, I can't stop crying. It was a beautiful game, guys. I know. Probably no one here is gonna buy it because you've seen everything already. But it's just the story is so emotional. Hi, it's me. I'm sorry to bother you at this hour. About this case, there's still many mysteries that remained unanswered. I believe uncovering each of these details would allow us to truly solve the case. Part of that requires looking directly at the life of Minoru Suzuki. Oh, here it is. Here it is. It's pretty gruesome stuff. Heavy, dark. You have to be prepared for that, I imagine. So I'm only going to talk when you're ready. When you decide you're prepared, you give me a call? I'll be waiting. Okay, guys. I guess trigger warning. I can kind of imagine what awaits us. It's probably going to be a very sensitive topic, so please be aware of that. Have you decided that you're ready? Understood. Then come to the office. With the investigation at Irumo village complete, we now know the full origin of the Smiling Men. Additionally, we found a scribbled note in the house where Minoru Suzuki was hiding. But understanding the true meaning of what he wrote, well, that's beyond our current abilities. Nevertheless, let me begin by filling you in on the details of my investigation. You're with the Utsuji Detective Agency? Yes, I know this incident is ancient history, but I was wondering if I could ask a few questions. I see. So what did you want to ask? I came here to investigate the history of the Suzuki family. I understand they used to live here. Ah, yes, the Suzukis. So unfortunate. I remember. They used to live in peace and harmony together, an ordinary family. Ah, but then, one day the wife and mother left home. The husband stopped work and started drinking. He became aggressive. Maybe it's shameful for us, but we decided ourselves we distanced ourselves from the family. I don't know why the mother left. It's not my place to say anything about it. But I will say, the poor Suzuki children were the ones who suffer the most. Children. Did Minoru Suzuki have any siblings? He had a sister named Emiko. They were 7 years apart. Did you say Emiko? Oh yes, Emiko. She was such a pretty girl. I think Minoru cherished and protected his sister in part because she was so much younger. I like smiling, Emiko. Don't make Emiko cry. I hate you. What did you just say? You son of a bitch. Say it to my face. I'm sure that Minoru was often beaten while protecting Emiko. When her mother was around, Emiko used to be so bright and cheerful. She was a little tomboy, and some of the villagers call her Emio, so it sounded like a boy's name. Emio. But well, after her mother left, she cried all the time, and she always looked frightened. We did the best we could, but Minoru protected Emiko with his own body at times. They were such a good brother and sister to each other. She was such a spunky little girl, just bursting with energy. Of course, she was always attached to Minoru at the hip. Sometimes she'd hide when she saw us. She must have thought that her brother was the only person she could trust in the world. He was an awkward boy of few words, but he was honest and kind. You could see how he always acted cheerful for Emiko's sake. She depended on him. I'm sure it was terribly hard for him. There are things between a husband and a wife that are personal and sometimes irreconcilable. I can't say it. But it's always the children who suffer when the relationship dissolves. We couldn't do anything for Minoru and Emiko. And that's a regret I carry with me to this day. You know, I remember. There was one day when I heard Emiko laughing wildly. She looked so happy. I wonder what was going on. Well, Minoru was fooling around with some kids of funny paperbacks on his head. A paper bag. Yes. It had been so long since I'd seen Emiko smile, let alone laugh. Do you remember what kind of paper bag it was? It was just an ordinary bag. But Minoru must have drawn a smiling face on it. So it looked as though he was laughing wildly when he put it on. Emiko would laugh so much when he wore it. I hadn't seen her that happy in a long time. Why, the next day, both of them were running around with bags on their heads. I suppose it was their way of making a little fun for themselves when life was so hard. I think it made Minoru happy to see Emiko smiling and laughing again. But then, the unthinkable happened. What happened to the Suzuki family after that? I'm sorry. Can you ask someone else about that? It's just too painful to remember. I understand. Thank you for sharing what you have. I'm sorry to hear I've stirred up these troubling memories. I hope you feel better. You sound like you genuinely care. That's kind of you. Thank you. Those kids, the brother and sister, they were as one. Emiko passed away? You're saying she drowned in the pond? I couldn't hear Minoru screaming from down. I could hear Minoru screaming from down near the pond. I rushed over there and found Emiko. Oh my god, I'm gonna cry again. I was speechless. Ooh. I wonder why he had suddenly run outside in the rain like that. I had no idea what was going on. I think Minoru and Emiko were planning on running away from home together. But when their father found out, he took all their things and dumped them in the pond. And I suppose what happened was that Emiko went to try to retrieve their things, and she drowned. And so Minoru... he went to his father. His father's face was... Still, I don't know if you can blame Minoru. I can't imagine what it was like for Minoru to lose his sister and then, with his own hands, his father. Yep, that's why he was there. I remember Miko's funeral. Emio, it looks like your brother brought something for you. Emio is smiling. You don't have to cry anymore. You can just smile now. Keep smiling forever. Something like that happened. People talked across generations. But then again, in time, all things fade. Even those painful memories just sort of drift away. You forget. When I think back, why didn't I stop Minoru when he started running? How could I not have realized what was going on? I still think about it. I believe Minoru was sent to a juvenile detention center afterward, but that's all I know. I left the village shortly after that time. I hope Minoru is doing well. In the end, life is as fragile as that paper bag that Emiko and Minoru played with. That's about all I can tell you. I see. Thank you very much for speaking with me. I moved away a long time ago, but I still think of those kids sometimes. If only I had known what was going on in his head, maybe I could have... Ooh, maybe it could have been different. I could have... Well, if you want my opinion, I don't think you can blame yourself. Still, I wonder. I think I told you everything I know. Thank you. It's been valuable. These are painful memories, that's for sure. I'm so sorry. There's a certain lightness to getting it off my chest. Thank you for listening. The events that took place there seem to be what inspired the urban legend of Emio the Smiling Man. As the people in the village spoke of the tragedy of the Tsuzuki siblings, the story took on a life on its own, and as word spread, the story morphed into a terrifying legend. In a cruel twist of fate, Minoru Tsuzuki's actions cemented the legend as a reality. Of course, the downfall of the Tsuzuki family cast a shadow over the entire neighborhood. People there still ask themselves if they could have done something. Some still live with regrets, and the notion that they could have somehow prevented all that came to pass. I don't think they should blame themselves, but it is human nature to do so. I know they carry the weight of their decisions, always. I met with the director at the juvenile detention center where Minoru was incarcerated. Oh yes, I remember Minoru Tsuzuki. He was an honest, well-behaved kid. However, I do recall that he had an intense case history, so we kept a close eye on his mental state. He hardly ever spoke during the time here, so it's hard to pin down how he was doing. Truly, he was an enigma. All in all, Minoru was a strange boy. He spent a lot of time alone, just thinking, presumably. You know, now that I think of it, he did used to mumble to himself a little bit. I'm going to study cars. One thing that did pique Minoru's interest was cars, so I encouraged him to pursue automotive repair. Becoming a certified mechanic could be a great advantage to someone leaving our institution. It turned out that he had the ability to focus quite well on his studies and worked hard. Ultimately, he passed the certification exam on his first try with flying colors. That's impressive. I agree. A bit surprising, I'll admit. I was happy for him, and glad to see that his mind was hard at work behind the silence. He must have been thrilled. After all, he barely spoke, but he did talk to me that day. However, the thing he was saying were a little weird. Minoru said, "Someday I'll get myself a car and I'll take my little sister wherever she wants to go." Yeah, that was pretty much his sister, huh? Oh my god. You agree it's weird, don't you? At least based on your reaction. As far as I know, Minoru only had one sister. That's right. I've looked through all the official documents. Minoru's only sister was Emiko, and she died before he arrived. Yes, I'm sure that Emiko was Minoru's only sister. It would have been in his record if he had another sister. Indeed. I'll take my little sister wherever she wants to go. Seeing him so happy, I suddenly realized maybe in this kid's head, the whole incident never happened. After he's released from juvenile detention, Minoru returned to Irumo village. The villagers welcome him back, and he spent a few years pitching in with farm work. They said he was helpful and didn't cause any problems, but that he had changed. At least, that was most folks' impression. The behavior he exhibited in detention, rarely speaking, mumbling to himself, continued. Those in the village who knew about his history were sensitive to his feelings and protective of him. But not everyone felt that way. Perhaps picking up on a growing sense of unease, Minoru left the village. For a while, he drifted, working odd jobs, until he found his way to the Kamematsu area, Kufuku City, and had the good fortune of stumbling upon Todoroki Motors. Speaking of, do you know what drew Minoru to Todoroki Motors? He was seeking a place to work on cars. He liked the name Todoroki. Mr. Todoroki and his wife, I guess it was the cars. We had the same thought, but actually, I found a car shop that's called Car. The owners are nice. I'm going to work there. If I have a car, I can go pick up Emiko. I gather he was fond of the kanji characters for Todoroki, which spell out car. For a car enthusiast, it must have been the perfect job. Speaking of his job, he found a set of work clothes for Todoroki Motors in an abandoned building from Todoroki Motors. They had been laundered and folded neatly away in a hidden spot. I think it shows how important Todoroki Motors was for Minoru. In a note we found, Minoru wrote that he was planning on going to pick up his sister Emiko. He also spoke of driving his sister around while he was in detention, but he doesn't have another sister. I think Minoru's mind became fixated on the day that he lost her, and he could never move past that event. He acted as if she were alive and in need of protection. As an unfortunate result, he caused a great deal of misery and suffering. I am sympathetic of his story, but regardless of the circumstances, the crimes he committed are unforgivable. I have no desire to defend him, I assure you of that. What I'm about to describe to you is based on the notes Minoru left behind in Makoto's testimony. I have filled in some of the details with information from a few trusted sources. Unfortunately, I believe the story is factual and not an exaggeration. Of course, we can never truly know what was going through Minoru's mind. Even if we could get a glimpse, there's just no way. Still, the story of his life, I feel it was important to share with you. This is a shot blank point. She was afraid. She was horrified. So you see, in a very real way, he was also a victim. But taking another innocent lives is a sin. And it can never be forgiven. I spoke with so many people who carry regrets, who said, if only I had done something. I can't help but wonder if the legend of the smiling man could have been prevented after all. After investigating the tragic life of Minoru Suzuki, I feel that the last sentence of his scribbled note is perhaps emblematic of his being and his heart. I want to see Emiko. What do you think? Oh god. You can see her now. He stole Makoto's life in more ways he could imagine. His father, the three girls, and the father of Ayaka too. He was going after Yunko as well, and then almost Megumi. This is so freaking sad. So freaking sad. Couldn't do anything. The moment Emiko died, his fate was sealed. But you always wonder, you know? Like, even the detective told him, like, there was nothing you could do, but, like, you always wonder. Congrats, Tira. Hi, you too. With this, we finished Emio, the Smiling Man. I feel a little better now. I can talk. I can actually talk now. This is a very deep, dark game. It has a lot of sensible topics. But I told you, remember that I told you at the beginning? It was gonna be dark. It was going to be dark. I mentioned it on Twitter as well. These games get pretty dark, but I believe from the three that I've played, this one is the darkest, the hardest one to go through, in the sense of all the things that you see and all the topics that are involved. But still a great game. I feel like each one of the topics were treated and seen and exposed in a very mature way. I'm gonna start crying again, so oh my goodness. It's very funny to me how the guy from the, well, not funny, but like, I don't understand what happened there, because the guy in the one that was in charge of the juvenile detention center, he said that they were paying close attention to his mental state, but they never did anything when he was still talking about his sister as if his sister was still alive. They never did any, like, they kept hearing him and mumbling, saying things like my sister, and like, I'm gonna, when I get a car, I'm gonna give her a ride and all this. Like, they never did anything. But how can you, like, if you're paying close attention to somebody's mental state and you hear them just like keep talking about the sister like that, as if the sister was still alive, why didn't you do anything? It didn't work much with psychological help, especially on those times, and the game was orientated in the 90s. Didn't make sense. They didn't pay attention to mental state in studies. Well, I guess you're right. But yeah, I guess this game helped to expose all that. Like, the fact that a student started to have problems with his grades, you know, like it started with his grades and he was struggling, but he was trying to not show it because like a lot of people are like, no, it's because he didn't look like he was depressed. And he didn't look like he was depressed. Eisuke didn't look like he was depressed. And then he fought with Megumi, and that was like the trigger. Like that was the last thing he could handle. And oh my god, I don't want to cry. Ew. It's so freaking sad. Oh my god. Well, that was Emio, guys. That was Emio, the smiling man. It's kind of sad that all the people, like, as soon as they revealed it was a visual novel, they decided to, like, no, I'm not gonna play it when... It's a very good game. It's a very deep game. I was prepared, but not for so much. Thank you so much, guys, for joining me. It was an experience. It was crazy. It was freaking crazy. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you so much for staying. Thank you so much for listening to me just talking about all this. It means a lot. Thank you. I'm gonna be streaming tomorrow, of course, with more Pokemon. We also need to finish Pokemon. I'm glad we finished this game so I can add Echoes of Wisdom to our schedule. Remember, I stream Monday, Wednesday, Saturday, and Sunday. Follow me on my social media so you won't miss any of my content. I do cosplay, I do YouTube videos, I sometimes do TikToks. I haven't done anything on TikTok. Thank you so much for the bits. Thank you very much for those bits. But thank you so much for joining me. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you on Monday with more Pokemon. Have a beautiful rest of your night and a beautiful day tomorrow. Thank you very much.